Part of the problem, is when you are one of the, well, shall we say, one of the biggest leaders in the world, is that you have to be very careful what you do and how you present yourself to the world, literally at the climb to the top, or indeed the climb down. I think one of the best people for that was none other than the late and brilliant Margaret Thatcher. Whatever you thought about her politics, she was always very aware of exactly how she presented herself on camera and very careful and concise as to what she said to certain interviewers. Of course, we now live in a mega different age, don't we? The digital platform where everything's an instant soundbite, that sort of stuff. And as we've seen with our current British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, he was very willing, very quickly to take the knee. Remember that. What a debacle that turned out to be. And apparently this is one picture, according to a source, and as ever allegedly, that Sir Keir would now out to see removed from the internet alongside his deputy, Angela Rayner. But it's not as simple as that. Now, here's the other bigger problem that's facing Sir Keir. You see, as we know, we have a brand new president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, back in the White House. And more importantly, of course, at one time a good friend and ally to the United Kingdom. This all stems back many, many years. And throughout thick and thin, we've had good relationships. But this particular government have derailed it to such a capacity. People are now asking, what can be done? Truly. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time today. Lovely to have your company. We'll have a quick wave. I hope you're all right. I mean, this is really serious, because it's all very well Keir Starmer sending out a congratulatory message to the incoming president, but then this happened.
Like you, I was shocked and angered at the killing of George Floyd and the response of President Trump and the US authorities to the peaceful protests, to people rightly demanding justice, has been an affront to humanity. The last week has shone a spotlight on the racism, discrimination and injustice experienced by those from black and minority ethnic communities in the US, in the UK and across the world. Martin Luther King said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." That's why today I've written to the Prime Minister asking for his assurance that the British government is doing all that it can to urge President Trump to respect human rights and the fundamental democratic right to peaceful protest. And this week, Labour has called on the UK government to ensure that our exports are not being used in the suppression of democratic rights in the US. But we must also reflect on the injustices in our own country. We must address the reality and the impact of anti-black racism, which has been highlighted by the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, more than ever, it's incumbent upon us all to ensure that this is a turning point. We must face up to and understand and address the systemic racial discrimination that exists in our own communities. The Labour Party stands with black communities in our country and across the world because Black Lives Matter.
That's right. And as you can see, it's not just him. It is the Deputy British Prime Minister as well, the Foreign Secretary. So many people have derided President Trump. Now, as I said, this is impartial. What I'm saying is, if you were in Trump's panic, sort of power pack, what would you want to do looking at this? Would you want to work with this bunch of people? And the answer would be a resounding no. Now, Sir Keir Starmer apparently believes that they can get back on track. But let me tell you what's fascinating to find out about this from excellent sources who have been literally around Trump over the last few weeks. You see, all of these videos have been played to him. And obviously, his team want to know and want him to know the sort of people that he's going to be dealing with moving forward. Messages like this, which were really incredibly cruel. And you've got to remember at this point, Keir Starmer barely knows this man. He's making an assumption on whatever the publicity and, of course, the sort of preconceived ideas of him are. Well, whichever way you look, now you're in power, how do you paddle back from that? Apparently Angela Rayner believes that she's the key forward. She can win him round because she has the common touch. Well, nobody's denying that. But even Mr. Trump would see through, of course, the flame-haired temptress that likes to bill herself as a basic instinct enthusiast. You get the picture. So for Keir now, it's going to take more than just a gentle persuasion. And many people are saying, oh, well, he didn't get invited because most prime ministers don't. As I pointed out, there were many, many invites that, were offered out. But there was a resounding none to Sir Keir Starmer. Even if he wanted to go, the offer wasn't there. And this is the chilling aspect now that we have over here in the United Kingdom. He can address the nation all he wants with his latest statements. But the bottom line is, he's blown it for Britain. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.